Hi, welcome back to Ideas Box. I'm Jimmy, and today I've got a video about the horse float we bought to move our llamas around in. We had a bit of a problem when we got it here. It didn't actually fit in our large shed. The door wasn't quite high enough, so a little bit of engineering involved, and in the end it was a relatively simple fix. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's get into it. Right. We've discovered a little bit of an issue with our new horse float or llama limo. Yesterday we drove for 4 hours or so to get this horse float. It was a real bargain at the price it was at. It's a single, so you can see how kind of narrow it is, and it's a single horse float, and we want that for our llamas obviously. And it's in fantastic condition. The llama limo is 2450 high. The door opening is 2400 high. So even though we got a nice big high shed which we can get the excavator in and out of, the problem is the horse float doesn't fit. The llama limo doesn't fit. As you can see, it doesn't quite fit. There's not much in it, about 50 millimeters, about 40-50 millimeters. Now, we did get it in here by, as you can see, letting air out of the tyres to drop the height a wee bit, and by levering that out so we could pop that lip of the door past the door stop, which gave us just enough height to get it in. So the plan is, at the moment, we can afford to take 100 millimeters off the height of the llama limo by taking 100 millimeters out of here. Obviously I'll move the tail light down, so it's going to come out of there. So that window will drop down by 100 millimeters. And this window will be shortened. So, but there's not much we can do about that because that can't go any lower because of this angle iron frame. So it is what it is. There's not much we can do about that. If we want to get it to fit in our new shed, that's just the way it's going to have to be. Right, so I've got 2 of the boards off. The plan is drop that down and then I'll just cut one of the boards on my table saw. So that's it from the outside. You can kind of see what the plan is. That one's a little bit ugly. Oops, might have to get serious with that one. So inside here is 2 hardened steel faces. So if you look, when you hit it with a hammer, see it's trying to undo the screw? So not only are you forcing the tip into the screw, so if it's slightly damaged, you're actually bedding it in better, but you've got the whatever 100 kilo impact from a small hammer trying to undo it. Look at that. Honestly, these things are like 30 bucks in a hardware store and they'll save you a lot of grief. I think I bought this one on eBay and it was maybe 30 bucks, I'm not sure. But look at that. The state of that head. I wouldn't have got that out without this tool here. Right, so that's all the boards and windows removed. I've just got to take these lights off, let them hang by their wires. Taking the windows out the front, because I had the help of my beautiful assistant. Actually wasn't too hard. So all I've got to do tomorrow is take 100mm out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 steel pieces. This is angle iron, bit of flat plate and some RHS, and it shouldn't be too bad, to be honest. So before we do too much cutting and welding, to make sure that we're not going down the wrong track, here's my beautiful assistant with Cisco. So let's see how.
Right, head up. Let's go.
Good boy, Cisco. In you go, mate.
Come on, let's go. Step up.
He's got like 300. We could easily take. There's at least 300 or 400. Can you get him to lift his head up a wee bit just to get the height right?
Cisco, step up.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, we could easily take 100 from there. I'm about to start cutting those supports to drop the roof of the horse float, the llama limo. I've got the weight supported by some straps. That one's in the centre, so I think it'll be okay. And extra precautions have been taken because I'm in the local country fire service, and if that pile of hay bales was to catch fire, then it would be all my mates who come over to put the fire out, and I'm sure I would never hear the end of it. Alright, so we've cut all them and sleeved them and dropped the roof back on. And the best part is it fits under the roller door. Just let me climb up here without breaking my neck. That little strip there is sprung, but I can re-pop rivet that.
Cisco.
So we've got about 60mm of a gap there.
Cisco. What are you doing?
So yeah, pleased as punch. That was so far it's been a relatively easy fix. Right, so that's all the welding and grinding and painting done. As they say, grinding and paint makes me the welder I ain't. It's not too bad. That one's got a bit of a squidge in it. I'm not sure what happened there. Can't really see that one. So I think that'll do. It's just a case now of fitting the windows in the wood and doing the brakes, and it's good to go. Still been a bargain, even though we had to put a little bit of time into it. Right, so that's the roof lowered and the board's back in. To be honest, you'd barely even know. Quite happy with the job that we've done on that. So I've just got to set these two front windows back in place. I've already cut the frames down. We'll cut the frame on the right hand side down and got that ready to go in. So that's what it looks like from the inside. I marked the boards hoping that the holes would still line up. And they didn't for the top board, obviously, because that piece of steel was 100mm further up, so I've had to drill the holes, but only took 2 minutes. So there you go, that's how it looks. The nuts they've used on the horse float, the llama limo, that style of nut, a 1/4 Whitworth thread, but that's too small, and we don't have any of the square nuts to fit the 1/4 Whitworth screws that I'm going to put back in. So so that it looks the same from the outside, I'm going to have a go at making some square quarter Whitworth screws. So let's see how that goes. Should always tighten all three of the keyholes in a chuck to make sure that you've taken all the play out. I'll just get that up a bit. Make sure that passes between the jaws of the chuck, the jaws of the vise. Being only 5mm thick plate, I shouldn't need to back this off. You watch, he says just as he snaps the tap. Actually, I will back that off. I don't like it when people run taps through with a drill. I don't think that's a very good idea at all. They're just about the easiest thing in the world to break, taps. So, you should always take a fair bit of care. Okay, so now I've made a 7th one because I've just realised that I've got seven of these that I have to make. So, and I've drilled them out to 5.5 just to make it easier on me, because the minor diameter of Whitworth, quarter Whitworth, is 4.7 something. So I was struggling to get the tap through and I didn't want to break it because it's the only quarter Whitworth tap I've got. It's this half decent steel I'm using here. Alright, so I've swapped over to this just to give me another ½ inch of leverage. Although the trouble with doing that is you lose your sense of how hard the job is to do. So sometimes you can force the tap in and break it. But I'm being super careful here. Honestly, if you don't have a tap and die set, go and get one, but don't get one of those shitty $20 ones off of eBay. Jesus. Most of them you won't use. You know, buy the ones that you need, but buy good ones. I only ever really use 5, 6, 8, quarter Whitworth, quarter UNC. That's about it. And some of the tap kits come with strange ones like 7mm, and the only 7mm thread I've ever seen was on a Volkswagen, an old Volkswagen Beetle. So yeah, buy the ones you need, buy good ones. Don't buy a cheap kit off of eBay. Because you'll regret it. Some cheap tools are good, but not this kind of thing. Not something that has to form a thread. Look at that. Beautiful. Like I bought one. That's a Sutton. Now watch out because they'll be hot for a few minutes yet. So we'll just tip them out on the bench to cool off. By the time I put this steel away, I should be able to pick them up. Over to the grinder, and we'll just take all the sharp edges off of them and wire brush them down a wee bit. Look at that. Beautiful. Lick of paint on them and you'll never know. Okay, so we're almost there. My beautiful assistant has painted the door and wire brushed the wood back to get a coat of marine varnish. She has painted the uprights and touched up the paint from where I was welding. So we've moved the windows back a wee bit just to make it easier to cut the wood. I'll paint them in a minute, those square bolts, those square nuts that I made. Down the side there is where we cut it and welded it. And we put the boards back in. So that all looks pretty good. The lights are back on. My beautiful assistant has painted the tailgate. That's the other side. And the inside looks original apart from being 100mm shorter. And I've spray painted, pop ribbeted and spray painted the top there as well. And the sign of a good job, you'd never really even know that we'd done anything. Right, so that's it, more or less done. Cut, welded, painted. Boards all trimmed and put back. Cut and welded, spray painted along this side. I'm not sure about those decals, we may get rid of them, but while they're on there they might as well look half decent. That's why we used a bit of cardboard to spray paint. Windows are back in. That varnish is a bit different colour because it's off of the sides. The sides are a bit darker than the front. But that's alright, it's better than it was. So there you go. Just put the door back on. Put the spare tyre back on. Get that fitting for the brake master cylinder. Job done. So that's how you drop the roof of a horse float, llama limo, by 100mm to get it fit in the door of your shed. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. As you see, there was a bit of engineering involved, but nothing too complicated. And in the end, it turned out quite nice. Okay, click the like and subscribe button, and don't forget that notifications bell, and check back soon for another video. Alright then, bye for now.